Good morning and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is going to be a box opening of Mythic Games Solomon Kane board game. So as you can see by the image, I mean it's a big game. All right, I paid on a Kickstarter for this $110. I got the early bird special on it. I purchased it within the first few minutes that it was actually open. I think for the first 24 hours, you got an additional a bonus expansion pack, which will be included in this box. So I'm really excited about that. If you're, looking at some of the tags down at the bottom, and one of the main reasons why I bought this, other than the fact that it's a Robert E. Howard character, Solomon Kane, which is one of my favorite characters of his. I would say my top three. The fact that this game has a solo mode is what really sold it to me. On top of the fact that the miniatures look like they're super high quality, and I can't wait to actually break this open. But before I go to the actual box opening, I wanted to talk a little bit about the character and the book that you should get if this is if you want to get the real sense of the character and in its original form, and that is the Del Rey book series of Robert E. Howard tales, so the Savage Tales of Solomon Kane, and this is a great book, jam-packed with really good artwork and every Solomon Kane story and fragments of stories that there is written. So I highly recommend that you get this. And if you read this or you listen to it on an audio, it will certainly put you in the right mood for it. Another thing that I actually got was I got the sketchbooks for this book here. So the sketchbooks, the original sketches, not the actual original sketches, obviously, but the sketchbook by Gary Gianni, and it came in this packaging as well. So it's so it is a collector's item, and it's something I was really excited to get my hands on many years ago. So it's a great combination for you to get your hands on and certainly read the stories before playing the book and playing the game, and it's really going to put you in that right mindset. There is the box. All right, I just wanted to show a picture of the box so you can actually see it and how big it is. It's got a couple weight measurements on here. It has a GW 14.7 kilograms or an NW 12.8 kilograms. I don't know what the difference is. I know that it probably weighs about 40 pounds. So it is a hefty box. Now for the actual opening, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this with you. So we'll see. I might end up transferring the smaller pieces over to my desktop and just do the main box opening over here. So let's actually get started on this right here. And because it is quite large and I really do need the extra space to open this thing up. Now obviously this Kickstarter took some time because of delays and such, but delays, the obvious delays that you'd have for shipping from Europe and coming to the United States, especially during this time with COVID and customs delays and such. All right, so these are actually going to be smaller. This might be the actual expansion. And this here is the main game component. Let's take a look at the expansion first. Since it's on top and on camera, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this. Yes, this is the expansion. So let me shift over here. And so there is the expansion, The Right Hand of Doom. And I'm going to switch camera views. So here we have it, an expansion, The Right Hand of Doom. And we are going to open this up and take a look at what is inside. So The Right Hand of Doom, this is an adventure for 1 to 5 players. Just love the fact that it has a solo component to it. And this is my first look at it. So here we have the book, and it is a spiral format, and very, very customary. Like if you have any of the Monolith games, Mythic I think might be even somewhat related to it. Same format, same quality of paper quality. Miniatures. You will need the following components for this storybook. So for this particular storybook, and they give you a list of all of the, or show you an image of all of the different miniatures that you will need to do this. And here's a breakdown of about 10 chapters in this. I believe it said for each act it takes about 3 to 4 hours to run each act. So we have that there. What else do we have here? So Act 1 through 10 chapters, or Act 1 is 10 chapters, and then 48 discovery cards, and the Right Hand of Doom miniature. All right, so just a little flyer that says what is in there. Here are the cards. So the Right Hand of Doom card. So this one right on the top says, a braggart such as all taverns attract, boastful, tough, and surrounded by a throng of cronies, impressed by schemes and braggadocio. Virtues can place onto this card. During Chapter 4, if ever are there 5 or more on this card, reveal D102. So I guess there's a section in the booklet that you would reveal. So here, I don't know how the game system works yet. And here is the miniature. So there's the miniature. It's like a hand on a podium with a candle and looks like a book. And so that is the Hand of Doom. So very cool. looking thing, and we will obviously get into the larger box in a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video, or at least try to, with that. So pause the recording, and I'll do the rest of opening up that box there, and then pick it up from there. Okay, so we're back up and running again, and so there's I guess the main game box here, and then the Arsenal box here, and then a sleeve of a number of really nice looking posters, photos. So we will take a look at the game box, and this looks like it's going to be everything that we see here. So all the components here, and Arsenal. What do we have in the Arsenal? It doesn't actually show, so we will take a look at the Arsenal second. So let's open up this game box here and see. I know that the main thing we're going to want to see are the various figures. This is a monster. So. Okay. So, I just heard an alert of some kind. Now this rule book here is not in that binding. We'll set that aside. So each of the storybooks, and there's quite a few of them here, they do have that binding on them. So each of the storybooks has that binding. And then there's a pretty massive book here as well. This is a very, very big game, and for $110, I mean, I've seen games for much more, and so the Rattle of Bones, we have Witchfinder General storybook. And I'll show you the images up or over here. The Witchfinder General, the Rattle of Bones. That's a great story. If you've never read that story, that's a good one to start with. Skull and the Stars. So each of these are major stories. The Skull and the Stars is really long too. This is a thick book. So this adventure is about 95 pages long. So this particular one is 95 pages long. The Ogre. Haunted Mountain. Death's Black Riders. It's another long one, about 90 some odd pages. And then The Beast of Bordeaux. This one's a little bit thinner and runs about 40 some odd pages long. And then The Blue Flame of Vengeance. Now this book is probably the main scenario, and it is about 159 pages long for this one here. The Blue Flame of Vengeance. Let's see what else we have in here. So we have these tiles, map tiles. And these are pretty thick. I know it's going to be hard for you to see their separations here, but fairly thick map tiles. There are some dice and counters in here. So these are all die, and I wish I could get some of the, let's switch views here and see if you could see a little bit better. So actually not much. The lighting is not that great for this. But here are some die. There's some other plain green cubes and some plain white cubes in here. This is the quick start guide, and then packs and packs and packs of card decks for the various gameplay cards are in here as well. So I am going to, and they have like a tray to put the pieces in once you get the pieces separated from the arsenal. So I'm going to put all of these right back in here for now, and of course nothing ever goes back in the same way that it came out. And so I am going to, but I'm not going to put the box top on just yet. Now we'll take a look at the arsenal box, and this should just be the figures. So this is what we are most likely waiting on. Sorry about my back. Okay, so let's bring this up over here. So here is a character board, and so you have your different levels of strength, clarity, compassion, and danger. So that's a character board. These might be the condition or level components for putting there. We have some additional tokens, and some of these are labeled danger -1, danger -2, strength +2, clarity +2, or compassion +2. So these are conditions that you can place on your characters, some positive, some negative. Let's see what else we have in here. So we have the Solomon Kane bookmark. So a whole packet of them. Not quite sure how those are used. So these are the different characters that you can run, and we will remove this and take a look at these. So far, the quality of everything is really high. Quality of the art is exceptional. So we have Prudence. Oh, these are like statuses. Courage, like levels. Providence. Justice. Darkness. Temperance. So, not exactly sure what those refer to just yet. I'll, of course, never, ever get this back into the box the way that it came. We'll just set that aside. Yeah, that's a lost cause before it even began. Some more tiles. And here are going to be the miniatures. So this is going to be the major draw. So Solomon Kane, 5 of 5. So 5 different variations or versions of Solomon Kane. I am going to test and see if we can get this to how I can best show you these figures here. I may have to flip the image. There we go. Oh, already falling out, so let's see. Okay. All right, let's see how we can do these. Okay. Nah, that's not going to work. So here we have one. I mean, the detail in this is really, really incredible. Actually, I will try this camera view here. So you can see the detail. Let's let it get caught up. Or at least try to. So you can see the detail that is in this. You can see the skulls underneath her. Underneath her cloak. I mean, the detail on these is really, let me turn her around. The detail on this, actually this might be just like death. So I've been saying her, but it looks like a skeletal face there. So we have that. She looks like Lady Justice here. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, she's wearing a blindfold or, yeah, over her eyes. So this is probably Justice. Did I get caught up? There we go. Incredible detail on these figures, and they're quite large. This is a brutish looking guy. This is the Alpha Wolf. This is a bear. Very good detail. This is a ghost. And so on. All right, so we will place these back in this box here. That's box number 1 that I grabbed. Let's see. We have let's see what we have in this box here. So these are Solomon Kane. That's an awesome figure. And here we have Solomon Kane riding a horse. And let's see if we can... So Solomon Kane riding a horse, 2 pistols drawn. Really incredible. So here's another horseman. Not Solomon Kane, you can tell from the hat. He's got a sword, a lantern in the other hand. Phenomenal detail. Yeah, the other 3 of these are all the same, so they're carrying a sword and of course never get them back in the base. But they will slide in this way. And Solomon Kane go in there. And that's that. So we saw 1 Solomon Kane so far. See what this one is. Some very large figures. So let's see. I'm not going to take these out. I'm just going to raise them. So these, those cards that I just read off to you, these look like they are the representations of those cards. You can see the size of these things. These are really nice sized figures. I mean, that's really impressive. And the detail on them is just incredible. So, really, really impressed and happy with the quality of these figures. And again, for $110 to get this number of figures is, you know, is really quite a bargain. So let's see, we have 2 more boxes to go. So this is Solomon Kane, 1 of 5. And let's see if I can just remove this and still keep them in their tray. Of course not, they're gonna hang up. But let's see. Yeah, they kind of hung up and dragged. these are. This I will do a top-down look. So here we have this figures, and I am going to flip it. So well, sorry about the on-the-fly modifications, but we have a number of different figures. These look kind of like highwaymen. They have a mask over their faces, single sword. There's two of them. We have a couple with pistols here. And again, same kind of detail that you have on all these ghosts that match up with the other. This guy here, I don't know how he was in. He's obviously, he looks like a butcher. All right, so here's a skeleton. Some pirates and swashbuckler types. That butcher doesn't seem to fit the same as everyone else. Remarkably, I got it back on the box now. And the last of the boxes. Yeah, it's like they're harder to remove from the box, from the tray, than the other. It's like they're hanging up. All right, from this end, it'll come out a little bit smoother. And let's see. So we have a bunch of wolves on the bottom. We have a blacksmith. We have a corpse laying on the floor, or bones laying on the floor. We have some more ghosts. We have another Solomon Kane here. Here is Solomon Kane with his staff. His staff is a little bit bent. Some pikemen, really nice looking ones too. I mean, those are nice looking figures. Some priests. Really, really impressive. Yeah, this Solomon Kane is going to be a tough one to... Like I said, that staff was a little bit bent. So I'm going to have to be very gentle with that one. And almost done. And we will switch. So as you can see, I mean, it is really a massive, massive game, a massive set of figures, much more than they show on this image here on the screen here, because there's various stretch goals and expansion packs and such. I will have to do a complete look through and make sure that I actually got everything I was supposed to, as far as some of those extra figures of the stretch goals and such. But it does look like they certainly gave me the expansion pack, and I know I got at least 2 different variants of Solomon Kane, and now it's just the process of learning how to play the game and seeing how it runs solo, and then I can do a video sometime down the road where I'm showing off the solo mode of the game. Ooh, excuse me, a little hiccup now. So it's a good thing I'm almost about to wrap up. So once again, thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will get into more detail about the game rules and such. This is just strictly a box opening. But if you're looking to get into this, as always, I always suggest that you take a look at the reading. And so, Robert E. Howard, Solomon Kane, The Savage Tales of Solomon Kane, probably one of the best books that you can get. All of the Del Rey book series really covered Robert E. Howard's original stories well. All right, and even though this is it's Del Rey, Ballantine Books, Del Rey. So make sure that you get these ones, like the Coming of Conan, the Bloody Crown of Conan, and I always forget the other one here. And again, illustrated by Gary Gianni. So try to get your hands on these. They're the best versions and great reading copies for his stories, so that you don't have to bust open a much older print edition and you're still getting the stories has written. So once again, thanks for joining. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Continue churning out content as quickly as I can. I try to do at least 2 videos a week. Oh, excuse me. And I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. I have several projects that I'm working on. I have one Thursday night D&D Beck Me game that I'm playing, or actually D&D. It's the rules cyclopedia game that I'm playing in, and I'm looking to get a second edition AD&D game going, or for Golden Glory. One or the other. I'm certainly looking for a game to play in as a player, rather than a GM, because that's very time consuming to be a DM for more than one game per week. So once again, thanks for joining. Have a great afternoon. Take care.